Good day everyone, so hope you're doing really well. In today's video I'll be doing a VOD review on my own gameplay using my C0 Yai and Technery and showing you once again how this playstyle of EEEQEEE with Yai is still totally wrong. I constantly see it on YouTube, but there is obviously a better way to play. And just a bit of a heads up for those of you that keep up with the channel more regularly, I'll be away until next week Monday, so this is the Monday after the 4.2 update, just taking a break. Right, so let's get into it. As you can see in the background, notice what I'm not doing. I'm using EEE on Yai, and now I'm swapping to my other characters, and finally once everything is set up, then I use that elemental burst for Yai Miko. So this is ideally how you want to play. You want to slightly delay the use of some of your abilities. This is a theory crafting concept that you will not get from Kaching Mains or anyone else, but it's the concept of you dynamically using charges and abilities, and sometimes using them early or sometimes delaying them, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a bit. So right off the bat you can see here I'm just doing a bit of a quick animation cancel summon here with Oz, nothing special. I'm quickly summoning my totems here with Yai, and notice how I did not really compromise on my position. I went in a very simple triangle to keep my relative positioning, and this is very key because I'm going to now obviously swirl the Electro here, and look at what I'm doing here with Lynette. I'm hitting the enemy here. I'm deliberately drawing in these two enemies from the side so that I can dash out exactly when they start attacking, and the benefit of this is that I can use Technery's E skill to now taunt all the enemies and keep them grouped up in a specific area. But notice what I'm not doing with him. I'm using his E skill, but there are still 3 charges that I have on his E skill available, so do keep that in mind. So here you can see I'm using Yai's elemental burst, and what I've effectively done is I've shred the opponent's electro resistance, I've applied the aggravate status or the quicken effect onto all of them, and now Yai's elemental burst can hit 4 aggravate shots. There's no ICD on it, but 4 aggravate shots in a row in a wide AoE, and this allows me to dish out a ton of damage. And whilst these shots are going on, I've quickly already set up all of my totems. A lot of people seem to think that Yai is a very slow character, when in fact once you have all of your abilities being off on cooldown, taking a bit of time to set up Yai's totems and reposition carefully is perfectly natural. This is one of those things people think is a weakness but is not, and you'll notice that because I'm not using EEEQEEE with Yai, I have a far better, more natural rotation that is playing out here in the background. So you can see now I've got official skills, I'm a skill or elemental burst. I'm obviously attacking the little animal, or whatever you call it, summon scorpion here, because once he's taken care of, she's going to lose a bit of health here, which means I'll be able to take care of these enemies a lot quicker. Here I'm going with Technery, and remember what I said earlier, my skill here is still on cooldown, but I still have these shots left. I still have a charge shot, I have another charge shot, and now my skill just came on cooldown. So look how long I delayed the use of those charge shots, because now I can immediately use them to basically get a lot of damage and clean up the fight very quickly, whilst enabling me to then set up for my next rotation. So this is what I mean. Sometimes you delay your charges and abilities, and this can actually have some profound consequences, because assuming the RNG on the enemies was like a bit bad, or they weren't really grouped up that well, some of these enemies might have had like a bit more health, and that's exactly where you can do a clean up with Technery. This concept of delaying on dynamically using the charges on some of your characters is something you will never hear from any theory crafters or Kaching Mains or the guys that are running GC Sim, because this is very practical. It's not something that you can just program in. It's something you have to feel after like hours and hours of practice. In any case, so here you can see I've already set up for the next wave. Quickly activate little official here, and now, well, the enemies are here, so by the power of literally pressing one button on Lynette, I've completely disabled the enemies, their entire wind-up animation, the threat that they're going to give to my characters, all of it disabled by one simple button press. And obviously now I'm going to swirl Electro and because the aggravate or quicken if status is on the enemies, I can once again get all of those juicy aggravate shots onto all of them. Oh, you can see how I didn't get all of the aggravate shots on him, slightly a bit mistimed there, but in any case, not the end of the world because he still took a bunch of damage. But hopefully you guys can see the pattern here. It's all about ensuring that you've shred the resistance, you've applied the quicken status, and then using Yai's burst. You don't want to EEEQ and EEE all the way, because that just literally wastes time. It doesn't play nicely into your rotation, and you haven't really set up all your buffs. The reason why you want to use Yai in this split way, and you'll see now in the follow-up as we do the third chamber, is because it allows you to have this rapid positioning, and that's ultimately what makes it so cool. In any case, so yeah, here we are literally just cleaning up the fight, and effectively I just played around a bit to ensure that all my characters have a full elemental burst going into the final floor, and as you can see, it's nothing special. You just run around, everyone has full burst, and now we can go to the next floor. So here on the final chamber, you'll notice I'm going to follow the exact same strategy. Once again, I have a setup phase, quickly swirl here with the enemies, and here is a little bit of a quick, oopsie, I'm misclicking, a bit of a technique that not a lot of people know. This is the ability for you to quickly animation cancel with the E ability, but whilst this animation is going off, you can press your elemental burst. So this is a very nice or quick little overlap. Sometimes these marginal little differences can make a difference, but in any case, so here you can see once again I'm using 2 shot charge shots. The enemy is now going to have his ice thing, and by the power of literally pressing one button on Lynette, the entire cryo aura is taken off, and I can instantly swap into Yai Miko. But look at what I'm going to do now with Yai. I'm going to go dash left, and then I'm going to go the other way. So this is a very, very advanced technique to avoid the damage from the enemy in the background. And as you can notice, I'm staying away from the sides and from the center here. So this is very, very crucial, because if I hit this with Yai, I'm going to take damage, and it's just, and if I stand here in the middle, when this enemy comes in there, or when he hits you, there's just a risk that you lose health. But this is exactly how you should be playing and carefully positioning with Yai. This is advanced positioning, and it's incredibly fun once you get it right. Here I'm going with Fischl, and like I said, you can get hit there, and Fischl's case is not too bad because she does regenerate some of the health due to, I think it's a constellation or a passive, something like that. In any case, so here we are once again with Technery. We're going to smack the enemies with a bunch of aggravate shots as well. And then we just use his elemental burst. So we're now in a bit of a downtime whilst we're waiting for his shield to go up. By the press of, once again, a button here on Lynette, we can disable it, and then obviously just then use her elemental burst. Again, just try and swirl Electro. You can see I actually made a little mistake here. I wanted to swirl that with the Electro instead of the cryo which the enemy had on it, and that allowed my Yai to take damage, which was a stupid thing to do. But as you guys can see, it's not always possible to play it perfect, but you can see there, dodging the enemy's little hits in the background is just super easy. In any case, so yeah, this is what we're going to do. We layer all our buffs, we ensure that we swirl the Electro, we use Technery, it's just etc. It's just the normal patterns. It's the only thing that's really interesting here is the skill expression and how you do it, and a lot of the skill expression comes with how long you delay your abilities and how you position with these characters. If you haven't noticed, these characters, together with Yai and Fischl, and obviously here with Lynette's little E ability, it gives you a lot of hypermobility, and that hypermobility is something you should use to reposition, to avoid damage, and to just play around with your abilities. And yeah, that's basically what you do it and use it for. In any case, so that is basically the end of this VOD review. I love doing this type of review because I think it's really educational. It tells people exactly what to do and how these characters were intentionally, or how they should be played. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, especially with Yai, and on my channel, especially over the last 2 years since Yai's release, I've really tried my best to give people the right sense of playing with Yai and how you should be playing with her. So if you see someone using EEEQ, then honestly it is a bit of a waste. But in any case, all right, I think that's enough for today, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next week. Keep well.